Hello, I'm Clarissa from dreambookproject.com. I'm the official interviewer for Freedom Summit Global. We are getting to know the wonderful international and local speakers for Freedom Summit Global. These speakers are gathering to show us how to live a life of total freedom where we are not shackled by time, money, or location. We are joined by a very special guest. She is a veteran in podcasting and she has helped create and launch over 30 podcasts in 2018 and she wants to launch yours in 2019. She has created and sold 3 successful companies and she has visited 37 countries on her ability to generate opportunities. So, I introduce to you this afternoon the amazing Michele Abraham. Hi!
Hi, thank you, Clarissa, for that wonderful introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, we're also happy that you are able to join us on this interview.
Yay, I'm excited for Asia too. So very excited for both things.
Yay. The Freedom Summit, as the name implies, is all about the theme of time, money, and location freedom. What does freedom mean to you personally?
Well, you know what? It's interesting that the word freedom comes up a lot in my life, and it's really one of my core values is the word freedom. So I took Simon Sinek's course that was about discovering your why, and when I took that course, I really discovered that my ability is really in this lifetime all about creating freedom and helping my clients also create freedom through leveraging their time and increasing their income so that they can reach their impact and have a greater impact in the world. So my business right now is called Amplify You, which is all about helping people realize that their uniqueness is their genius and unleashing it is ours. So we're helping them really create freedom in their business. And so freedom to me is one of my core values, and I've lived my life by having a freedom of time, being able to pick up my kids from school when I want, freedom of being able to work from anywhere in the world because I work digitally online, and having the freedom to have allowed my husband to quit his job, his career of 18 years to be at home. We live on a lake where we take a boat to our house and then a boat to our car. So we have the freedom to live there. And then we travel the rest of the year in our RV with our kids, so we have the freedom to do that. And one of the things, freedom of time and freedom of, being able to work from anywhere in the world. And I'm really working on the freedom to have the financial means to really say yes to every opportunity. And so a real freedom to me means that someone could give you an opportunity and you wouldn't even have to think about the financial part of it. You wouldn't have to think about the time commitment or anything. You just say yes. And so that's the third part that we're really working on this year. And our business is exploding this year. So we're really hoping that financial freedom is also going to be there as well.
Wow. What struck me about what you said is freedom being the ability to say yes to every opportunity that you like. Yeah. Is that right?
Totally, yeah. And I really believe that too, that the real, true, total freedom is saying yes to opportunity, any opportunity that you feel that, like saying yes to going to Asia and speaking in Asia. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I had a 9-to-5 job and I was, nobody to look after my kids, and also, there was just many other constraints, and I didn't have the financial means to do so. So there's a lot of things that I'm so grateful to have the freedom to be able to say yes to things.
And you're living it, so you have the expertise and credibility to teach it to other people.
Absolutely, yes. And I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years. And I've always been able to create my own income and create my own freedom of schedules and time freedom to be able to, take a day off and go to the beach when I want, or to take my kids to the dentist without having to ask my boss. And, I really value that a lot.
Michele, what strategies did you apply to become successful?
I think it goes back to saying yes to opportunities. So really being open to opportunities that come by. I've been really fortunate that I was on a plane to go live in Switzerland the day after I graduated high school. I lived in Europe. I've traveled all over the world. I've done some amazing jobs. I had a job where I skied 200 days a year. I had a job where I was a nanny in Switzerland. I worked on cruise ships. I've worked on obviously my own businesses as well. But I've always had the strategy that I wanted to do something that was fun for work. I wanted to enjoy what I did, because life is too short not to enjoy it. And I always wanted to make sure that I was able to travel the world, see the world, and have fun doing it. And so my whole life has been doing that for the last 20 years since I graduated high school, at least. I've been traveling and having fun, and I think that was the strategy for me, is being able to say yes, being able to create my own income, and really coming up with something that's going to be other people are going to want to have. Like, for example, podcasting. So podcasting is very popular right now. That's something that people are really interested in. And so it's a service, and it's something that I feel passionate about, and I can offer that as a service to them.
Mm-hmm. So it boils down to being open to opportunities and having the courage to actually say yes to these opportunities. And you mentioned doing what you love, including traveling while working, right?
Absolutely, yes. I can imagine my life if I had just gone to work, or gone to university, gotten a job, and that was it. Like, I can imagine my life would be the same as it is if I'd just done that. And, one of the things that I'm passionate about is really, really, really making sure that you love what you do, but also that you're helping other people live a life of freedom as well, and living a life so that they can also do the same thing too. I love teaching. My favorite topic to talk about.
Yes. Since you live this kind of lifestyle, do you have any tips for anyone who wants to embrace the digital nomad lifestyle?
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the things that people say to me a lot in my life is, "You're so lucky. You're so lucky you get to work on a cruise ship. You're so lucky you get to live on a lake. You're so lucky." And I don't think it's luck. I think it's a couple of things. I think one is saying yes to opportunities, like I mentioned before. Number two, I think, is taking action. So having a dream is one thing. So dreaming about being a digital nomad is great, but unless you start taking some steps and some actions towards being able to actually do that, it's not going to happen. So you got to actually take the action as well as dreaming about it, which is cool. So that's one of the things I really believe. So taking the action in order to get there is really important. So becoming a digital nomad is it's an amazing thing to want to be, but creating something that you are able to do while you're traveling is a little bit of a craft. So you've got to find something that you love doing, and usually it's your own knowledge. I really like helping people figure out what is that they're an expert at, and helping create a business, a program, a service, a podcast around what they're knowledgeable on. And so I use the example of I have a client who's a naturopathic doctor, and she went to school. She loves what she does, and she says she's bought herself a really nice job because she is so busy that she can't see any days off for 3 months in advance. And so, for her, I look at what she does, and she's answering the same questions with the same clients in the first session every single time that she meets with them. So what we do is we created a program answering all those questions that she would answer in the first session, so that then she can work one-on-one with the clients that are ready to work with her, and everyone else can go through a program first to get the initial results and then work with her one-on-one. So then that opens up her schedule. So she's got a lot more time on her hands now, and is able to take days off, and she can actually make more money that way when you're working one-to-many instead of one-to-one.
Yeah. That solved time freedom, money freedom, and location freedom all in one.
Absolutely. And actually she can make a bigger impact because she's working with more people.
Yes.
Yeah.
This next question is very close to my heart because I'm in the business of helping people achieve their dreams. So the next question is, what's your advice to help people make their dreams come true? What should one person do to make his or her dreams come true?
I love that. And I love that you're in the business of making dreams come true. I feel like I am too, in a different way. So I love helping people get their message out in the world. So I think in order for someone to make their dreams come true, first of all, you need to have a dream. And I think if you don't have a dream that's big enough to take action on getting closer to it, then it's not big enough. So you need to have a dream that you really feel passionate enough to take action towards. Because if it's not a big enough dream, like say, for example, I want to run a marathon one day. Oh, that's cool. But it's not passion. I'm not passionate about it. I might not take the steps to get there to make that dream a reality. But if I say that I want to live in Bali with my family one day, that I feel really passionate about that, I might take more steps to make that more of a reality. And I think sometimes our dreams seem so big that breaking them down to smaller pieces makes it a little bit more easier to see small victories and small results. So for example, my husband and I always wanted to live where we live now. We live on a lake, and we live quite a bit of ways out of town, and we live on 8 acres, and it's beautiful, and it's my husband's happy place. But he worked a career where he had to be in the city for his job, and we had a house, and we had our kids, and so we couldn't see how this dream was going to happen. And so we just worked a little bit by a little bit. But the first step was we sold our house. So selling our house made us have to move. So we moved. He quit his job, and in order for him to quit his job, I had to make enough money in my business so that he could quit his job. So it wasn't that we were making so much money; is that we were using it in a different way. So, for example, we were living with less vacations or less stuff. So we sold our things, and so instead of living with things, that we were able to have more experiences. I hope that makes sense. So he was able to quit his job, not because we were making more money, but because we made different choices.
Mm-hmm. So the first is to start with the dream itself, that it should be something you're passionate about, enough for it to be compelling, for you to take action on. And you also mentioned breaking it down to smaller bits, making it manageable. And then you gave your personal example of how you did it.
Yes, exactly.
Michele, what's your favorite travel story?
There's so many I could talk about right now, but one I like to talk about, one of the things that I'm really good at in life is connecting people. And so this is very a serendipitous story where I was backpacking through Europe with my 2 friends. I was 19, and we were sitting on a ferry from Venice, Italy to Athens, Greece. We were sitting on the ferry, and we overheard some people talking about our town. There was a bunch of kids sitting behind us. They were talking about our hometown, and we were really far away from our hometown. So our hometown back in Canada, and they were talking about it on this ferry. And so we overheard what they were saying, and so we turned around and we said, "Hey, where are you guys from there?" And they turned out they were from the same town as us. And so we were planning on staying in this place in Greece for about 4 or 5 days. And because we met them, we ended up staying for 2 weeks. We met, and they were meeting their friends from home at the in Greece. And so when the two of the girls that we met ended up working for me in my gym later on, and we actually now are still friends like 25 years later.
Wow, and you just met randomly.
Randomly.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Really.
So I like that story because it's still relevant to my life because they're both still friends of mine.
Yes. Michele, what's your vision for the future?
That is a big question.
Yeah.
My vision for my family's future is that we continue to live this lifestyle where we spend our summers at the lake and then we go travel in the winter and continue this lifestyle so we can show our kids the world. I think it's really important that kids get to learn and experience different cultures. And my business vision for the future is that we are able to help so many different people, even people in all parts of the world, get their message out into the world through podcasting. And I vision that we will have events one day where our podcasters will stand on stage and share their stories to their fans that will come out to see them. And I think that there's going to be a lot of people we're going to be able to reach through podcasting that will be able to have their stories heard. Even if they're living in Rwanda or they're living in Singapore or they're living in Argentina, that maybe they wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So I just love that everyone's message is going to be heard. And I think that's an important thing for people to be able to get their message out into the world.
Yeah, so that's your personal vision and your business vision.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and finally, where can people find you online?
Sure. They can find me at my personal website is Michele Elise, E-L-I-S-E, Abraham.com. And that's my personal website. And then our business website is amplifyu.ca. And if you want to learn about podcasting, you want to download a free ebook that we have that's about a workbook about how to get started. It is launchyourpod.com. So launchyourpod.com, and you can go download a workbook from there.
All right. Thank you, Michele.
Thank you for the
interview. But before we go, we invite everyone to join us at Freedom Summit Global. Achieve time freedom, money freedom, and location freedom. And finally, we invite you all to like Freedom Summit Global and Freedom Summit Asia on Facebook. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Michele. That was a fun interview.
Thank you, Clarissa. I look forward to meeting you in Manila.
Same.